Lowcountry Money Talk. Phil is walking us through the multiple plans that we need. And it's so easy to get caught up in needing a retirement plan that you might forget you need a tax plan.
Yeah.
We've talked about that tax plan and the importance and what those implications could be in regards to your IRA. Now, though, and I love this topic because you paint such a picture for us that helps us really understand it, Phil. We're going to talk about tax diversification.
Yes.
And, well, we're not. I would love for you to talk about that.
I'll talk about it a little bit.
Walk us through it.
Okay. So there's different monies that can be taxed at a different rate. So we have the tax buckets we always talk about. We had a whole show about this. But so we have an IRA. So we talked previously, when we have an IRA, we need to have an IRA tax plan, how we're going to unwind that. I mean, or how much do we want to take out of this, because it can affect the taxation of our Social Security. Matter of fact, the money that we take out of our IRAs is the #1 contributor to our Social Security being taxed. So we look at that. The other thing is, what about the other types of accounts and how are they going to be taxed? Well, let's take a bucket. We'll say we have one bucket that's our capital gain bucket.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, this could be from a brokerage account, could be I sell a property, whatever. So in this account, the tax rate is going to be from 0 to about 20%. Okay? So we can kind of control this based upon what we choose to sell and not sell. So I'm going to talk from the equity standpoint or from the stock standpoint for a second. So I have a stock that has increased, over the years, 500% or whatever it may be, okay, over the years. And then I have some newer ones that are maybe down 10% or, something like that. So I say, okay, I need to take $10,000 out. Now, currently, we're taxed on realized gains. So as long as we don't sell anything, we don't pay any tax. Right.
Okay.
They're trying to change that where they tax it. God forbid they ever do that. That would be a nightmare.
Okay.
But let's say I sell enough of the gain of this stock against the loss of this stock, so to get $20,000 out that I need for income.
All right.
So if I got a $20,000 loss and a $20,000 gain, what's my tax rate going to be on that $20,000 in income that I withdraw from that bucket?
Well, if you're taking a gain and a loss, then net 0.
I like it.
Right?
We like 0.
Yeah.
So we can kind of control that. Now, normally we don't have many losses, okay? The market has given us in some of the last few years, but that's one thing we can kind of control. The middle income bucket, that's where most people have their money, and that's also our IRA bucket.
Okay.
Our traditional IRA.
Yep.
So the income tax on that can go all the way up to over 37%, or right at 37%.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. So unfortunately, that's where most people are taking their money from in retirement.
Right.
And then that leads to the taxation of their Social Security.
Right.
So technically, even more than 37% because it's causing their Social Security to be.
It's creating a ripple effect here. Okay. Yeah.
So we want to be really careful about taking from that bucket, okay? Because it may be the highest taxable bucket, and it also contributes the most to our Social Security being taxed. Then we have the 0 bucket. Another 0 bucket.
This is a good bucket.
Yeah. This would be the monies that we already paid taxes on. Maybe we had a traditional IRA and we did the conversions and we paid the taxes on this years ago. So now we can take withdrawals out of this bucket and we pay no taxes. Now, as a percentage of assets, how much do you think that we have in that bucket compared to the other two?
Probably not enough. Can I just guess it's
say
lower
not
than
enough.
It should be? Yeah.
That's right. But then the point being is that's usually the smallest bucket that I see, but it's the most beneficial.
Right.
So in our diversification of income tax planning, we need to consider these 3 buckets and how to get more from at least this middle bucket into that far right bucket.
That is so interesting. Yes. Okay. So balancing the bucket. Now you don't need, not just balancing.
Not kicking the bucket.
That's right. Don't kick the bucket. You got to balance the buckets.
Yes.
This is so interesting, but I love how you paint this picture for us so that we can understand it. make some adjustments.
Yeah.
Speaking of making adjustments, if you want to have Phil and his team take a look at what you have going on, so that you can make some adjustments, now is a great time to do that. They call it the Revolutionary Wealth Review. There's no cost to do it. All you got to do is call Rachel at the office. She'll set you up if you have $500,000 or more in investable assets. They'll take a picture of what you've got and make sure that they can give you some help to adjust as needed.
Adjust the buckets.
Adjust the buckets. Don't adjust the dial. We don't have dials anymore, but stay right there. We'll be back with Lowcountry Money Talk.